Today on Judge Faith, on-again, off-again exes come to court for one more round in the relationship ring.
Everything was good up until she fell in love with George Washington and the presidents.
I consider him sort of like a friend of me.
Why do you continue to date a man you have to sue to get your money? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
And later, a 6-year-old mutt is caught in the middle of a heated dispute between Missouri college students after she's accused of a vicious attack.
I'm on top of the counter at this point, and they're watching the dog roam around the counter, barking and hopping up, trying to get to me still.
I think the dog scratched her. I don't think the dog bit her.
The dog bit and scratched me, to be correct.
You were there. You saw all this happening. Did you see her leg bleeding?
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff Carly Williams says the defendant has a long history of taking money from her and not paying it back. She's suing for parking tickets, printer ink, air conditioners, auto transport, and vacation expenses. Defendant Daniel Polney says Carly is trying to get money out of him, and she has a long history of suing him when they break up.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Williams versus Polney.
Thank you, Juan. Carly Williams?
Yes.
You were suing the defendant, Daniel Polney.
Yeah.
For $1,093. Parking tickets, printer ink, 2 air conditioners, auto transport, you can tell me what that means, money spent on a vacation, and other related expenses. Were the two of you in a relationship?
Yes.
Okay, give me some background. Tell me what's happening here.
Well, we've been in an off and on relationship for, I don't know, about 12 years.
12 years?
Yes.
Off and on for 12 years?
Yes.
Why?
Sometimes he's a nice person.
Okay.
And so that's kind of why I consider him sort of like a friend of me.
So today, are you off or are you on again?
We're
I
off.
guess you're off today.
We're off. We've been off for a while.
What do you have to say, sir, about your relationship?
Well, I would concur with that. You know, it's been off and on. Everything was good up until she fell in love with George Washington and the presidents. So she likes money more than...
She likes money?
Yeah, of which I don't have a lot of.
You're not saying she's a gold digger, but she's just not going to be with a...
No, but... I'm not saying that. What I am saying... The first time that we lived together, she lived in my apartment. I worked out of town. She would buy food and stuff like that, which my kids would eat, of course. When she left, I got sued for the food that the kids
she
ate.
sued you before?
Oh, yeah, this is, I'm going to tell you, Judge, this is how it is. You're going to like this. My understanding from your background, you were a prosecutor in New York.
That's right.
So you've seen serial rapists, serial murderers, serial burglars, serial whatever, serial sewer right here.
So
3
she's
times
litigious.
at least. I think
3
she sued me
times?
at least 3 times.
Have you sued him 3 times?
No, this is the second time.
The second time?
Yes.
Over money?
Yes.
You mean to tell me you've loaned him all this money you're suing for today? After you had to sue him to get money back the first time?
Well...
Did you win that case?
Yes.
So you had to sue him, and you won that case and got money,
right.
And then you went and loaned him money for all these things, and you're suing him again.
Well, it's a little bit more than that. Initially, when I did sue him, this was quite a while ago, and it was a whole different circumstance. So this one is, the suit that I'm bringing now is because I was trying to help him with his business.
Why would you ever get involved in helping him with his business?
Okay, so then it's just the same thing as if you have an on and off relationship. At one point, we're okay, and the next point, we're not okay. As I said, he's like a friend of me. He has done favors for me, and I've done favors for him.
What has he done for you lately?
Well, that's why I'm suing, because basically he hasn't. And, you know, and I mean, since I consider him sort of a friend, or at some point I did, it's like, okay, well, I'll help out. And this was helping me, too, because, you know, I was a part of the business.
What do you say you've done for her? You said this has been back and forth. The two of you have helped each other out over the years.
We have. She was trying to buy a house. I tried to help her with that.
Well, do you owe her money?
The only thing I owe her that she has sued me for is the $200 auto transport. I admit to that.
Okay.
That one is mine.
What is that?
I bought 2 cars from U.S. Postal Police Department down here, and to transport them down, it was $400, which I had 200 of, so she loaned me the other 200.
So you owe her $200 for that?
I admit that, yes,
So
ma'am.
you don't owe her for the vacation, the car and hotel for the vacation?
I gave her money for that.
Okay. What about the parking tickets? She said that you got 2 parking tickets on her car, valued at $142 each. Did you pay those tickets, or did you get any tickets?
She had got 3 tickets at one point that I know of. 2 were in front of my house, to which she was driving the car.
Oh, you got the tickets in front of his house? So he owes?
No. I actually have a copy of the tickets.
Oh, I'd like
and
to
what
see
it
it.
was, at one point I was visiting, and so that particular neighborhood, you have to have a pass that you put in your car.
Okay.
Okay, so I kept asking him to go get one since I'm parking out there. And also because he needed to use my car because his car was in the shop. So instead of him going and getting, the parking pass, I ended up getting a ticket. And then the next time I got the ticket because of him is because he needed to take my car in order to go to work. And he got a ticket where he was parking downtown at work.
I can tell you his defense right now. He said you lived with him rent-free. He's done things for you as well. Both of you have paid out expenses. What you don't get to do is, when the relationship is off, go to court and say, this is all the money I'm out of pocket when I was dating you. I got 2 parking tickets in front of your house. I helped you do this. I helped you do that. The burden of proof is the same. Whether you're ex-lovers, ex-friends, frenemies, whatever you want to call yourself, you have to come into court and prove that he owes you money. And the problem is with these cases, no one ever gets things in writing, and then you want to come into court and tell me he owes me for all of these things.
Coming up, the drama between the exes escalates.
The next morning I go up and I find these initials carved in the back tailgate of my Magnum. It said JCW. That's her.
Wow. Y'all acting like the 20-year-olds I have in my courtroom that come in front of me.
And later, Missouri college students dispute the details of a dog bite.
The dog thought she was playing because she's running and screaming. So automatically the dog's chasing after her because that's what dogs do.
Plaintiff Carly Williams says Daniel has a long history of owing her money. She's suing for parking tickets, printer ink, air conditioners, auto transport, and vacation expenses. Defendant Daniel Polney says Carly likes to sue, and he's fighting back this time.
You said that you've had some issues with the plaintiff in terms of things that she's done to you. You had someone's name tattooed on you. Tell me about that.
Oh, yeah. There was a young lady that I was seeing when we were off. And one birthday, she had a heart put on my shoulder with her name on it.
The young lady paid for you to get her name tattooed on you.
Yeah, I got that.
And
that
you said, okay,
have.
you all right with me, Mr. Polney?
My dog starts barking around 12:30. My dog never barked. But I'm too lazy to get up and go check to see what was going on. So the next morning I go up and I find these initials carved in the back tailgate of my Magnum. It said JCW. Now, there's only one JCW I know. That's her.
Wow. Y'all acting like the 20-year-olds I have in my courtroom that come in front of me. Getting tattoos with somebody's name if you go out on a date. You carving initials in the back of his car?
Actually, my initials are CJW, so I don't know.
So you didn't do it. You said you didn't do it.
I don't know who carved. Yeah, because I'm CJW, not JCW.
You out in the black of night with your black pantsuit on, carving initials in the back of the man's truck.
No, CJW. So I don't know. It might have been someone else he knows. Okay. But when he got the ticket on J Street, that's because he was parked at work and he got the ticket. Okay, and then the ticket as far as his house, in front of his house, I was visiting. I wasn't living with him.
Yeah, you were visiting.
Right.
You wanted to be there.
Right.
You got a ticket.
But
he's not going to pay for that. Mr. Polney, I'm going to tell you what Chris Rock said, sir. Okay? You can lose money chasing women, but you'll never lose women chasing money. Now, because you talk about these issues with money, I'm going to tell you need to refocus, sir, your priorities here. Because this woman has sued you multiple times. It's not good. You don't want to keep going through this. On again, off again. It takes one time for someone to sue me, and we're off forever. That's it.
Unless you had it coming.
And then for you, but you have it coming. You know why?
Okay.
Why do you continue to date a man you have to sue to get your money? And you still give him money? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
But I don't always have to do that. You know,
But you make a choice.
Usually when we agree to something and he says he's going to do something, he does it.
Are you still in love with him? Is that why you sued him? Did you want to see him in court today?
No.
What about you?
You're dead.
What about you, sir? What about you? She
She's my
carved her
friend.
initials on the back of your truck, sued you twice. You still want to go out on a date with her, don't you?
Well, no, but if she called me tomorrow and she needed help, I'll be there.
See? There you go.
He's a
That's
nice
the kind
man.
That's the kind of sort of friends we are or were.
Yeah. Okay, so you owe for this ticket, which is $107, in addition to the $200 you admit to owing for the auto transport. Everything else I'm dismissing. I think that both of you have given a lot in this relationship, and you've also received things from each other in this relationship. And you don't get to come in and sue when it hasn't worked out for all the money you've spent. So my total judgment in this case, ma'am, is in your favor in the amount of $307.50. Good luck.
I wouldn't loan him money again, but I would sue him in court again.
Right now, she's a friend. She'll be a friend for life.
We're always interested in what you have to say about our cases. Write us with your thoughts or comments. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, or my Instagram. I look forward to hearing from you.
Plaintiff Brianna Fryzen says the defendant's dog attacked her, and now she's refusing to pay. She's suing for medical bills. Defendant Morgan Harmon says she doesn't know because her 6-year-old mutt Emma has never been aggressive with anyone, and she doesn't think her dog bit Brianna. She's accompanied in court today by Destiny Thomas.
Brianna Fryzen.
Yes,
You were
correct.
suing the defendant, Morgan Harmon,
Yes, Your Honor.
for $952 in medical bills.
Yes, Your
You
Honor.
say you have to pay as a result of a dog bite.
Yes, Your
Okay,
Honor.
tell me what happened.
Okay, it was August 15th, first day of school. It was a gathering at Campus Evolution, that's where they live. Me and my friend, at the time, her roommate, we go to this party that was there. And after we leave the party, we go to her house because later that night,
You went to whose home?
the defendant's home, which was my roommate. I was with her roommate.
Morgan's roommate. Okay, how many
Yes.
roommates did you have at the time?
I had 2 at the time, Your Honor.
2 at the time. And you are one of the roommates?
Yes.
You're Destiny Thomas?
Yes.
Okay.
So when I enter there, before I enter the house, the roommate, she has to hold the door and hold the dog, and she's holding the dog and the animal. The dog, as I'm at the door, the dog is barking, and it is, it's barking, it's growling. So when she opens the door and I see how big the animal is, I say, Khadijah, can you just put the dog away? Because it's just too big. That's just my exact word. She's like, oh, it's a nice dog. It just wants to smell you and get to know you. It hasn't seen you. This is your first time here. It wants to smell you. I don't want the dog to smell me, is what I told her. I don't want the dog to smell me. Can you just go put it away so that way we can just, we're going to hang out for 20 minutes.
So you see this big dog barking at you.
Correct.
You turn around and go back home, right?
No, I
You say,
didn't-
I
I
don't
didn't
want to
go
go
back
into
home.
this apartment with this dog. What kind of dog is it? What kind of dog is it?
Pit
She's
bull.
a mixed breed, Your Honor.
Mixed breed with what?
Pit bull.
No, we actually don't know.
I'm just asking you what kind of dog it is. Mixed breed, you know what it's mixed with?
No, I don't, Your Honor.
You don't know?
I don't know.
me see
She
the
was
photos.
a rescue dog.
Pit bull.
Looks like a pit bull
Yeah,
to me.
it is a pit bull.
She's not a pit bull, Your Honor. She's a mix.
She's obviously mixed. If she is a mixed breed, pit bull is a part of that mix, based on what I'm seeing in the photos. You don't think that?
I don't know, so I don't want to claim. But regardless, she's a dog, so I don't think it matters.
Looks like a
what
pit bull to
type
me,
of
that's all
dog.
I'm saying. But listen, that doesn't mean that it's necessarily aggressive, although I will say, every dog bite case I've had in this courtroom in the last 3 months, it's all been pit bulls. But in any event, how long have you had the
She's
dog?
not. Thank you.
How long have you had the dog?
I've had the dog for 5 years, Your Honor.
5 years?
Yes.
And you don't know what kind of dog it is after having it for 5 years?
She's a mixed breed. I didn't feel the need to look into
So
it.
you weren't home at the time. Have you ever
No,
had any
no.
problems with her biting anyone before?
Never, Your Honor.
Never? So
Never.
this is the first time?
Yes.
Coming up on Judge Faith, responsibility for the dog bite is disputed.
2 weeks passed. I was bit by your dog 2 weeks passed. You did not reach out at all.
Plaintiff Brianna Fryzen says Morgan's dog attacked her. She's suing for medical bills. Defendant Morgan Harmon says she doesn't know because she doesn't think Emma bit Brianna. She's accompanied in court today by Destiny Thomas.
And you live there as well, Destiny?
Yes.
Can you step up for me? What's the dog's name?
Emma.
Emma. So you've lived in this apartment with Emma as well?
Yes.
Ever had any problems with Emma?
No, no problem.
But you know she bit somebody this time around.
I don't think she bit her.
You don't think she's making it up? What do you say happened? Well, tell me what happened.
I walk inside the apartment. When I walk inside, I walk past the dog is not barking, it is not growling at me, it is calm. So I enter the building.
So is someone holding the dog?
Holding the animal in the door. Destiny is coming out from the back of the day, and I'm standing here. I'm standing here at the bar, which is where I was standing. As soon as she closes the door and she unhands the dog comes and it's barking. It's not growling. It's barking and growling at me.
Quiet.
When I step back, because of course this pit bull is coming at me and it's barking, so of course I step back in defense. And when I step back in defense, it's when the dog starts growling at me. They're just watching the dog, so that's when I run and I get on the counter. I'm on top of the counter at this point. The dog is still roaming around the counter, and they're watching the dog roam around the counter, barking and hopping up, trying to get to me still. It was a lot of adrenaline going in my body. I did not remember. I didn't feel the dog punch her and bite me at all. The dog was hopping up and it was scratching and it was reaching past her to get towards me. I had my purse in my hand, so I was in my hands up, and the dog bit me. Once I felt blood, of course, running down my leg, and I looked, I said, okay, well, I've been bitten. That's when I run and I jump on top of the counter. That's when I was on top of the counter.
Miss Thomas, my question to you is, you were there. You saw all this happening. Did you see her leg bleeding?
It was bleeding.
Okay.
After the fact.
And so what do you think happened to her leg?
I think the dog scratched her. I don't think the dog bit her.
Okay, so that's the distinction that you're making.
Yes.
You're not saying she did anything to aggravate the dog. You're just saying that she was there and the dog was aggravated because the dog didn't know her, right?
I don't think the dog was aggravated. The dog thought she was playing because she's running and screaming. So the dog, automatically the dog's chasing after her because that's what dogs do.
Let me see the photos of the injuries.
It wasn't that serious. It was a puncture wound. Those are scratches. The dog bit and scratched me, to be correct.
And
it was scratched and I was bit. Obviously, there's 2 puncture wounds, as you can see right there, which the police told you when you were talking to police on the phone.
I mean, you do understand that it looks like there are 2 teeth bites.
Yes, but the police officer said to me that she didn't want to make the distinction between a bite wound and a scratch wound.
Okay, that's the police officer. Now you're in court. I'm making the distinction. I'm telling you based on evidence that I have to look at and observe what it looks like to me. But
yes, Your Honor.
It's not a big distinction. The fact is, there are the stitches. The fact is, she was injured by your dog.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
So are you friends with the other roommate?
I'm not friends with any of them anymore after the comments that obviously it's not a big issue. I had to drive myself to the ER. It was not a big issue to anyone. No sympathy. 2 weeks passed. No one reached out to me at all. She was told to supply information to me to show that the dog was up to date on the shots.
And how was I supposed to get your information?
You did not. 2 weeks passed.
All right.
I was bit by your dog 2 weeks passed. You did not reach out at all.
Here's what we're going to do based on the law in the state of Missouri. Missouri is one of those states where they have passed laws regarding dog bites, and they passed a law where it's strict liability for a dog bite. And what that means is if a person is on your property legally, and in this case the plaintiff was because she was invited by one of the roommates, and your dog bites and or injures that person, that means that you're responsible for the out-of-pocket medical expenses. It doesn't matter that you weren't there. The only fact that's relevant in your state when it comes to responsibility for dog bites is the fact that it happened.
Yes, Your
The plaintiff has provided to me a proof of her out-of-pocket medical expenses, $952.30. My second comment to you is, now you know that your dog will bite someone. If it happens again and animal control is called, I'm telling you what's going to happen. They will put the dog down. Judgment in this case for the plaintiff in the amount of $952. Good luck, ladies.
I have nothing to say to Morgan and Destiny. I feel like justice was served and there's nothing else to be said.
I've never had any problems with my dog for 5 years. She is a drama major, so being dramatic is her forte.
If you or someone you know has a dispute, don't take the law into your own hands. Let Judge Faith rule on it for you. To submit your case, go to judgefaith.com and tell us your story. See you in court.